Hello, welcome to my masterpiece workshop. Tonight you'll be enjoying my finest work ever, New York Comic Con. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I present to you Nerd York Comic Con. The largest gathering of nerds on the East Coast, with zatanas and all kinds of Thors. It's very Thor-y in here. Ha ha ha. Alright. We've got Scarlet Witch and Deadpool, and upstairs to the area where it's so cool. Here we go. Apparently La Brea is a thing, and Quantum Leap, which every time I see that, just remember that quantum means tiny. So if you make a quantum leap in technology, you're making a very, very small step. So much smaller than most steps. But somehow that's become so small that it's huge. Wow, you can barely move up here. Today is Sunday, and it's Sunday Fun Day. I thought it would be a little less crowded. What the hell did I know? That's Bugman. Excuse me. Oh. And we just sidestepped through here, trying to stay alive. Chaos time, books, and more books. The 9 Eyes of Lucy. Oh, Critical Role. Dungeons and Dragons. Honor. Oh, yeah. There it is. Book I'm currently reading. Deceit of Dragons. I actually was listening to it on Audible, but you know, there's some things when you Audible a book, you replace the voices in your own head with the voice of the reader, which for some things I'm okay with, but when it comes to Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman and the Dragonlance Saga or the Deathgate Cycle, you know, I want to have that experience of those voices being in my head authentically. I want those characters to sound unique, not to be given a voice by a voice actor. To me, it sort of corrupts the process. Now, there's another series I like. It's King's Dark Tidings, which is by Kel Cade, and that I've only ever listened to on Audible, and you know, it's pretty fantastic. And I've got to say that the voice actor himself, Nick Podell, that guy does a pretty damn good job. And since I've already got his voice in my head anyway when I listen to those characters, Tam and Rezkin and Frisha, well, I guess it doesn't matter for those. It's also the case for if you're listening to, you know, classical books that have been done a million different ways. You know, they can have a voice that's not necessarily created in my own mind. But when it comes to fantasy books, for the most part, this applies to Brandon Sanderson too, really. Like, I can't read a Brandon Sanderson book on Audible. It has to be in my head. My friend Iggy gave me a book called Steelheart, which is the Brandon Sanderson superhero universe, and it's an interesting universe. I thought it was good. Oh, look, people taking pictures from far away, blocking the aisle all day. Oh, There's Totoro and Shira, as they were. Wow, Disney. Look at all the Disney. We got some kind of... Oh, Coheed and Cambria. What are they doing here? I'm gonna have to start singing Welcome Home. Oh my god. That's dope. What kind of awesomeness is Coheed and Cambria doing here? Oh my god. That's so cool. Excuse me. Just a little nerdy. Their music is fantastic. Star Wars. Darth Vader. Could be later. Here's a troll. On a roll. Uh-oh. That crap's starting again. I don't know how to make it stop. Just open your mouth and boom, there it is. Coins for the coin god. Would you get beneficial treatment if you gave Charon like 2 of these coins? We're like, hey man, you want these anime coins that you can put over, right here, put over my eyes, and then take me to Elysium. I don't want to go down to Stygia. Let's not do Hades realm. That's pretty cool. Let's just go somewhere else. Here we have backpacks. Backpacks! The Bahamut, only $500. It's a dice mystery bag. Well, that's pretty cool too. Look at all these bags. Metal. All right, metal dice. Everybody has to stop and look at metal dice. Oh, there's the Emperor's little minions who can't hit anything. Hand wave them away. You're safe if they're chasing you. That's, oh, let there be people. People. Is it bad that when he said go right, the first thing I thought of was go left? Almost said it, but I'm not that big of a jerk. Yes, I am. That's a lie. So where were we? Here are wallets at New York Comic Con. Your nerdy wallets. And I think I've talked about these things before, but I cannot stress how much I love these seatbelt belts. The seatbelt belt clasps are the creme de la creme of airport security. You just pop that thing off. It's so easy. I fly a lot, so maybe this is a personal problem, but I love to be able to just unhook my belt and just shoop, it slides right off, and it's so easy to put right back on. It's just a seatbelt. It's so easy. How can you possibly go wrong? Oh, look at that. Cool art up here as well. People making art sales. Making art sales. Oh yeah. This got some Norse jewelry-ish thing. Oh, dodge left, dodge right. Here we see the mittens for your hands in the kitchen. Aren't they bitchin'? Not good for itching. Nerdy novelty designs for all that kitchen time that you're gonna be spending. Here we go over here. All these little plushies are trending. Certainly something that every good nerd wants is a plushie of their waifu. And we come all the way to Nuchos, which are empanadas, apparently. the more you know. This is the upstairs of New York Comic Con, deep in its guts, as it were, to not make it too, you know, I want the innuendo to be right at that level. Oh, that's a pretty cool. All right, that's a cool dress. You gotta take time to look at the bell. She's got an awesome dress. Anyway, moving on. There's Kiki. Hi, Kiki. We're a fan of Kiki. Kiki's everywhere. Oh, I think I just kind of dropped that subject of listening to things on Audible, not listening to things on Audible, but to go back to it in a stream of consciousness way. It's a pretty great platform, especially if you're like you have a hard time with dry text like I do. I have the hardest time in the world paying attention to dry text. It drives me crazy. I can audible it though, and it's actually made interesting. Like I listened to Das Kapital 1 and 2 on Audible. I mean, you gotta take notes. Shit's dense, but you know, help you understand Marxism and that whole viewpoint for the communist revolution, why it's sort of doomed to fail because the theory of value that they're trying to put forth doesn't mesh with the way that people want to consume value, the way that things are valued by a market. Such a pain. Anyway, let's not talk about that particular subject, but it's a great way to learn those kind of dense books. There's great foundation that you can lay for yourself if you, like me, are dyslexic and terrible at reading anything that you can't keep your mind on all the time. Like I remember when I was a kid, I had to read texts, like dry texts, if I actually tried to read one of those wonderful books that they gave us, which were amalgamated, condensed versions of other people's writings. These are cool. Van Helsing. Yeah, this is kind of nifty. Anyway, you have to read over the same page like 5 times to try and get all the information. Or you can listen to it once. What? Back to Coheed and Cambria. It's like a magnet. I'm drawn to it because it's cool as shit. But can you see that in the distance there? That giant monkey D. Luffy. I think he's in 4th gear, 5th gear, I don't know. That guy has all of the gears. And he's not afraid to use them. It's like a truck driver. It's gonna be an 18-wheeler. It's gonna have 12 gears eventually. Monkey D. Luffy is gonna be pulling a long haul. Oh, there's a fancy video game. Oh, pardon me. Gwen Stacy right there. Gwen Stacy, barely see the back of her head. How good is that? Oh, fancy. Okay, nope, there's Demon Slayer's booth. Okay, so we have apparently crossed over into Big Booth Land. I've got to say, it's kind of bizarre to come back after the pandemic to these things, and for them not to have gigantic Marvel and DC booths at New York Comic Con it's sad. It's a sort of loss. They do have a Marvel booth, but it's just Marvel's booth promoting their Marvel Universe online app, which is quite good. I have it. And thanks to Tony Sue, who clued me in at San Diego Comic Con for the awesome deal that they were promoting at the time. And it was a great deal, and it worked out. Oh my gosh, IDW Books actually has a pretty big display here. Impressive. I had no idea that they were this much of a force. Wow.
So that was the area.
Look at that. Is this the new Fakes of Comics? Boy, what a change. I'm not necessarily sure if it's a good one, but change is change. Just makes the world stranger. Look at that. We got some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Looking pretty cool there. Walk along. Sing that song we've got back here. Look at the Funko Pop. It's not even their booth, but there's like so many of these with all the rare Funkos. And these things sell for like $500, $1,000. So if you've got some rare Funkos, consider opening a store. Could make mint. You could just buy the crates and then pull the rare Funkos out, sell them. There was a point in time when I had access to early Blizzard stuff, and it was something I considered doing, buying a crate of WoW TCG in order to pull out the Spectral Tigers, sell them, and make the money back. I will say my wife was not a huge fan of this idea. She wasn't my wife at the time, but she is now. And she definitely put the kibosh on that. Oh, dark power. Oh, too bad it means nothing, because they can all just resurrect, and no matter what happens, they're all gonna resurrect on Mutant Island, the Resurrection Protocol. It's almost like a way to bring back all of your comic book characters with no consequences. How convenient. Some would say brilliant. More Marvel. Brie Larson, who's I think done with Marvel after her next movie. I'm guessing that was the end of their contract. Maybe they'll go separate ways, and maybe they'll come back together. Never know how this Hollywood stuff works. It's all just gambit, and then reaction, and then negotiation. Looking for the public's opinion. Who's wrong, who's right? Who's willing to pick up a story in support of one actress or another? Oh, here we are. This is the cool shit. This is the small press. Look at these guys. Oh, I'm falling over. Can barely pick up my feet. Independent comic creators. Someday, if I am patriarcha, interesting. If I am lucky enough, someday there will be a book by the Con Man up in this bitch, as it were. Apparently this is not for children. You know, usually I'm not throwing too many curse words out there, but apparently this time I decided that was on the back burner. And we're gonna check out these awesome comics instead and throw around curse words. It's just the first thing that comes to my head. Who knows? I didn't know. Who knew where we were gonna go? Oh, look at that cityscape. Ah, it's Crunchyroll. Ah, Crunchyroll. Kiss Shot Esorello. In case you're thinking of watching an anime series about vampires, immortality, and fighting. It's kind of like Naruto, but not at all. Sort of shonen, but not really. Some would say it's worth your time. The animation's cool. It's got a very famous fight scene. It came out in 2017. The series. I have no idea if the manga's still going on, but it's nifty. Summon Wars of Chronicles. Oh my gosh. Look at all that. You know, the question is it... I'm trying to stay out of people's shots. Everybody's got their own shots. The question is it better the way that kids have it these days with their portable games and their mobile phones, with their incredibly predatory practices that are now starting to get moved over into the Western market, like in every AAA game title? These are actually stupid cool. Oh no. Oh God, no. What have you done? Why? Uh-oh. Heroes and villains. Dungeons and Dragons. Wakanda Forever. I don't care about that, but Dungeons. Oh no. God wills it. Spelljammer. You know what the problem is? If I buy one of these, my wife is going to beat me. Can't do it. Oh, so cool though. Look at all this cool stuff. Behold, scan me. Oh. Okay, there we go. Heroesandvillains.com. Zoom in and enhance. Okay. We've got that. In case you work at CSI, you can pull the reflection off of that. See the face of the Con Man. But if you don't, haha, too bad. You'll never know. You'll never know the real man behind the camera. That's actually probably a good thing. It's incredibly boring. It's like the mystery is way more interesting than anything else. Which reminds me of J.J. Abrams and his mystery box. Why? Did anybody else, like, I'm a DM, so when I go through those J.J. Abrams mystery box things, that motherfucker has nothing planned. Like, he's just like, oh, well, I'm gonna read fan comments and figure out where to go from there. I swear that's what's happening. Look at the cool pins. Oh. Cool pins. I'll just take a second here. Look at that.
Well, that's cool. I got some club yesterday.
They're cool pins. Anime pin club, apparently. That's awesome. Yeah, so anyway. Am I the only DM who looked at that and went, I know what you're doing? You're writing like just a few episodes ahead, looking for what people glom onto, and then writing from there, leaving it vague enough that everybody can fill in their own headcanon, and then in the end, since you've already garnered all of this information and all of these views, and everybody's all interested in your stuff, you don't really matter at that point because they've already pulled you in. And so inevitably they're going to give a conclusion that just fails to live up to the awesome hype that they've created. You know, kind of like In-Game. Oh, that's right. In-Game ended the comic book movies. You heard it here. Probably not first. Like, I don't think it will ever be as hype as it was right after Infinity War. Because Infinity War was just such a cool movie. It did such good things, set up such good stuff. They should have stuck with their original ending instead of kind of deciding to just change things up and try and match certain other aspects, be unexpected. It would have been a really good ending if they just went with the idea that they were working on already, which was to kill off Captain America, Thor, and Tony. Oh no, I can't get out that way. Uh-oh, we're trapped. But we're not, because we're craftier. And now it's time to go to Artist Alley, by the way. That's what's happening now. In case you were unaware, this is going to be like an hour long. Oh look, once again, broken escalator has morphed itself into stairs. Even if it's broken, it's not that broken because it's stairs. And we walk down, maybe, slowly, or we could bail on that and find another way, because over here looks like a better op. Let's head this direction. It's like time is a consideration here, people. I don't want to spend 15 minutes walking down a set of broken escalator stairs. Ho, 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 ho. Here we go. So we go down here. You know, I've actually never been to the tabletop gaming area, so I guess we'll do that first. Before we go to Artist Alley. Artist Alley. Before we go to Artist Alley, we're gonna go check out the tabletop gaming. All right. It's kind of like, what if Bill Burr decided to host one of these? That would be good. I could see Bill just making fun of all the nerds. But then I'd have to be upset because I'm a nerd. Though no one can tell. I mean, except for I'm walking around every convention in the United States with a camera. No one will ever be able to tell.
Chicken tenders.
Oh, Boku no Hero Academia. Looks like they've got a tabletop game. Well. For all of you anime people who wanted to RP somebody in Deku's worlds, maybe you can get all for one and one for all as powers, oh, pardon-moi, inside of that system. I'm betting you can. I'm betting you can. Oh, it's a collectible card game. Well, we can all be a little disappointed in our own way. I'm sure some people are thrilled. Thrilled that it's a collectible card game. Oh, there's a lot less interesting stuff going on here. D&D though, oh man, that kid just took out that boat. One shot. Must have rolled a 20. Here we go. So this is what this looks like. Let there be all kinds of tabletop games. Oh, Dice Forge. Behold, all the tabletop games. I didn't know that John McClane made a game, but there it is, Die Hard. Look at that. Oh, nifty. Okay, that's it. That's all we've got. Let's move on to the more interesting Artist Alley. We got, oh, that's Street Fighter 3 over there. Going down, some Soul Calibur. The original, we got Miss Captain America? Or is she just Captain America? I'm thinking she's just Captain America in this day and age. Back in the day, she probably would have been Mrs. Captain America or Miss Captain America, but times have changed. No more of those monikers. Oh, look at this. Blood and Clockwork. Well, blood in the clock tower anyway. We'll pretend that I can read from afar. Which I totally can. Can't film inside of a men's room. Just in case you were wondering. That could get you in trouble. Just ask Dr. Disrespect. Somebody lost a delicious thing of water. Okay, here's the secret. Oh, that guy was pretty cool. Here we go. The secret here is that you can go down to anything on the second floor and get to pretty much anywhere else on the second floor. Nobody knows this, except for all of these people who all know this perfectly well. They're like, yes, of course you can go to the second floor and go to anywhere else on the second floor. Before this, we were actually on the fourth floor. Then we went down to the third floor, and now the second floor. And now we head over to another part of the second floor, where the artists are apparently, oh, excuse me, pardon me, excuse me. Big fan. I like how the guy treats kids. What can I say? Oh, that's mean. I like kids. Oh, this is food I didn't know was here. Look at that. It's not as expensive as I thought it would be. I think that's the main takeaway. There's actually like affordable rice bowls in the middle of New York Comic Con, and I didn't know about it until just now. There goes Superwoman. She's looking pretty good. Well, once we get to Artist Alley, there'll be all kinds of cosplay to see. All kinds of people dressed up as their favorite characters. Ish. Or as everyone seems to call them now, if they're from the Marvel Universe, variants. Oh, I'm a variant this. That's great. Congratulations. Almost there. So this is the staging area that if you first come down here, that's where they shunt you off to. Oh, somebody's backpack is so interesting for 10 minutes. As we walk this away, whoa. The Pride Lounge, in case you're interested in being proud. You can go there. Talk about all your prideful feelings. Never understood why that was a specific thing associated with the LGBTQIA plus movement. Like, why pride? Why that particular sin? Because I don't know if they're particularly proud people, or if they're even a people. Like, they all seem like a bunch of different factions that don't necessarily get along. Like, there's been some friction in all of those groups, but they're all just people. And here we go. Artiste allez. This is where it all begins and ends for the con man. There's Kiki, trying to make my way. Wow, this is actually more packed than it was upstairs. That's crazy. All right, gotta skip that. Some people are using their ultra instinct, and here we go. All around, look at that. Alex Sanchez, Gideon Kindle. Ah, these places are always so refreshing. You know, even if you see a million times the same art, it's like going home. You just can't help but think it's so cool. Because it is. It is that cool. Everything here is pretty much amazing. Got She-Hulk. Oh, turn there, you see her. Got Michael Golden. All of these people. Tran Nguyen. That's interesting. This is definitely more an original art approach. Always good to see people pushing new stuff. Getting everything out there. The world needs originality. It's that magical thing that gives us something new to do, something new to see. Original characters, original stories. Peach Mononoke. Oh, interesting stuff. Interesting stuff for Dan Mora, Clayton McCormick, Corin Howell, Sean Murphy. But I haven't even taken you to the best place yet. It's kind of hard to get over there. But let me tell you, this is where the con man is stationed with his wife, referring to myself in the goofy name of the YouTube channel. That's always endearing. But let's just look over here. What's that say? Is that Chris Claremont right there? Yes, that's correct. Chris Claremont right here. He's got a long ass line. But no, we're not done. That down there, that's Joe Quesada. That's right. Joe Quesada is right here. But we're still not done. Oh, pardon me. No. This is the Isle of Comic Book Royalty. Joe Quesada. Jeff Loeb is over there as well. Lee Garbett. Oh, look at that. It's like that all the way around. And of course, there would be nothing without Leanne Nguyen, Look at that. Her amazing art gracing the stage. Once again, people must be so thrilled. Defendini, huh? Look at that. This guy's art's actually pretty awesome. I particularly love the Jubilee. Original stuff here with Matt Lewinsky. Checking it out. Pretty much the coolest shit that you get to see down in Artist Alley. Like everything up in the vendors hall, except for a small press, is pretty manufactured. You know, they have big teams. But these places, this is where you get the real stuff. These are the artists out here making it happen, and then you have this tragedy, which happened just the day when Kim Jong-il was on his way here. And we'll just take a moment to observe the lack of a man who was an inspiration to so many. It's a very sad time. Moving on. Look at this. Edgar Delgado. Look at all these people. Just fantastic work. For those of you who don't get to come to these conventions, if you run across mine, I hope you see these things and they inspire you to get down here and check out how awesome this community is. How cool each piece of art is. It's not just somebody's living. It's not just somebody's work. It's the whole community that is built around it. Just such a cool place. Everybody here adding each little piece together to make a community of nerds that come together to buy and support their hobbies and projects that make this world great. I mean, I'm sure that NASA's doing something and blah, 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 Elon Musk, but when it comes down to it, look at this. I don't see Elon Musk making awesome Trinity Comics art, do you? No. Not Donato Arts. No Will Sidney. No. Look at this. That's Will Sliney? But you know what? I don't know how to pronounce that guy's name. Like Rachel Rosenberg. I can get that one. Okay, we're good with that. But some of these. We have reached the pass of no saturation. It's an amazing part where basically people break off and are no longer following or heading in that direction. Happens at every aisle at some point. So this is the beginning of this aisle. Oh, by the way, did I mention that Frank Miller is here? Yes, that's right. Frank Miller. What about Alan Moore? No, Alan Moore's not here. I've seen Alan Moore's various different things. This aisle I'm not even going to try to go down because it's got literally everybody. David Fink, all the rest. Running out of batteries. And it's a 45-minute long video. I think we're good. So, in the end, you got to see most of Artist Alley except for 2 aisles. And you got to see a lot of the upstairs too, eh? That's new. Gaming hall. That was an interesting twist. Maybe someday in the future, I'll film some panels or something. Maybe not though. Who knows? All right. I need some kind of iconic sign-off. Too bad I don't have one of those. So the end. Goodbye, good night, check out the cool dragon. All right.